Some television programs are lucky enough to have long runs on the air and become an integral part of pop culture. Others aren't so lucky. The really unfortunate are those that come to our homes full of hope and promise, but don't even make it to episode 2. Here are Screen Rant's 10 TV shows cancelled after 1 episode. Heil, Honey, I'm Home. Comedy is usually at its best when it has an edge, and there aren't many more controversial topics than racial and ethnic humor. While audiences found a soft spot for the likes of Archie Bunker, this British sitcom went too far. Starring characterized versions of Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun, the romantic couple sees their happy life crumble around them when they become neighbors to a Jewish couple, and it's easy to understand why there were problems with the premise. Poking fun at the Third Reich is something we enjoy, but it needs to be done tastefully, a la Mel Brooks. Osbournes Reloaded. The Osbourne family had one hit reality show, but they couldn't make it 2 for 2 with their attempt at a variety show. Despite backing from American Idol producers, Osbournes Reloaded couldn't find an audience and was panned by critics, who labeled it as must-flee TV. We love rocking out to Ozzy, but the idea of seeing him do comedy sketches in drag and seeing members of the clan work real jobs like fast food drive-thru obviously didn't have much appeal. Poor ratings and concerns about the content on network TV gave Fox no choice but to remove it after the premiere episode aired. Comedy. At the turn of the new millennium, people were just beginning to understand the wonders of the internet, and television wanted in on the party. Knowing that the World Wide Web could be a breeding ground for humor and hijinks, ABC greenlit this series that would feature wannabe stars trying to go viral. The clip show was prophetic in its vision, but network executives weren't pleased with the low ratings. Their 4.1 million viewers was a smaller total than the show Comedy replaced in the lineup. If only ABC had waited a few more years, they might have had a real winner. Emily's Reasons Why Not. It was big news when star Heather Graham made the jump from movies to TV, and that's the most memorable aspect of the short-lived sitcom Emily's Reasons Why Not. The main culprit was its unoriginal setup, which saw Graham playing a self-help author who comically couldn't figure out the problems in her own life. Bringing nothing new to the table, the show was panned by critics and failed to draw in viewers despite a large amount of hype. With that reaction, ABC had plenty of answers to the question why not when it came to the fate of the episodes that were left over. Quarterlife. Hollywood is full of portrayals of people undergoing a midlife crisis, but Quarterlife can be just as terrifying. That was the idea behind NBC's 2008 broadcast version of a MySpace series. Though the web series was a hit that racked up the hits, the television show couldn't attract a similar audience. The premiere episode got a dismal response from viewers, with ratings lower than the Democratic presidential debate happening at the same time. It was an unheard of failure for the network, who quickly canceled the show and sent the remaining episodes to sister station Bravo. There's proof that not every new phenomenon is a guaranteed success. Secret talents of the stars. A celebrity may be famous for acting or singing, but that doesn't mean their skill set is limited to a singular talent. CBS intended to show how gifted our favorite stars were with a 7-week reality competition featuring big names like Joe Frazier and George Takei. Audiences even had the chance to vote from home in the tournament, but they didn't take the bait. The concept was deemed too ridiculous by the masses, and Secret Talents of the Stars was pulled after the first episode aired. Co-ed fever. After the success of Animal House, everyone wanted in on the frat comedy craze, but the genre wasn't meant for network TV. One of the most infamous failures was this short-lived CBS sitcom, which tried to showcase the hysteria of guys being accepted to a formerly all-girls college. Uninspired with its setup and character development, Co-ed Fever never made its regularly scheduled time slot. The special preview night episode that aired was so low rated and trashed by critics, the network pulled the plug right there. But the series wasn't a total loss. One of the sets found a second life as the girls' dormitory on the first season of Facts of Life. So there's that. Breaking Boston. Usually reality shows are designed for people to make financial gains, but Mark Wahlberg had a different idea when he launched Breaking Boston. The show focused on 4 young women who were trying to improve their lives in Beantown, hoping for some personal fulfillment along the way. It's an intriguing setup for a show and had the backing of one of Hollywood's biggest stars, but those proved to be its only merits. Citing underperformance, A&E pulled it from its lineup after a single episode. America allegedly loves the story of blue-collar workers turning things around, but this one couldn't resonate with enough people. The Rich List. Billed as one of the most addicting game shows since Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was in its prime, The Rich List turned out to be broke. Fox heavily promoted the program, especially during their World Series coverage, but failed to sell audiences on the hype. The show premiered to low ratings, and network executives had no choice but to axe it after one show. The premise was revived on the GSN program called The Money List, but that iteration lasted only 9 episodes. As much as audiences love watching game shows, it's clear that there's a rule to decide which ones make the cut and which ones go home. Ford Nation. Thanks to highly publicized scandals, Toronto Mayor Rob Ford and his brother Doug were household names, which of course meant that they deserved a TV show. Promoted as a weekly program that would air Mondays, Ford Nation actually turned out to be a ratings winner for the Sun News Network. Despite much interest, the show ended up being too expensive for the fledgling channel to produce. The one episode that aired took 5 hours to record and 8 more to edit. Those involved now claim it was only meant as a one-time deal, but they're clearly trying to save face.
Okay, you know what? And that gentleman's right.
Those are our picks for TV shows that were cancelled after just one episode. Are there any we missed? Which shows do you wish got past the first airing? Sound off in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one.